Alright, YouTube. It's been a while. It's been a long while, but I just got done installing this T61 from CX Racing. I'll include some pictures in the video of the differences in it, but it's only oil cooled, so you have to route your coolant line just back, make a loop, and make a kit on drift motion you can get, which I'm probably going to for appearance sake. And then I also ran into some issues with the steel braided line they gave me, but that was my own fault. The kit would work perfectly, but I broke the little connector that goes into the block for that braided line, so that's my fault. Gives your car a deeper sound for sure. It's just more open, and I don't know, it seems like it makes more power for PSI. As far as the whole quick spool thing, I think it spools about the same as the stock one does, but it spools pretty quick for being the size of the impeller on it. It's I want to say it's a 66 trim, something like that. I was reading something somewhere. What I want to do is, when I bought this, I was reading that it's a journal bearing turbo, and they say that you don't need a restrictor for a journal bearing. Well, I drilled out this little piece here that this connects to. They had a restrictor in it already, just a very tiny little hole. Well, I drilled it out because I just felt like it'd be okay. Well, it sits there, the oil will sit in there and kind of get hot and burn. You can smell it when you're driving it, and I don't like that. So I ordered a new restrictor flange for it. So that'll be fixed here soon. And I was told that the wastegate on this thing has a tendency to stick open. I haven't experienced that yet. So far it's managed to stay closed, you know, until you're boosting heavily, but if that ever changes, I'll let you guys know. They said they'd fix that issue, so we'll see in the future. I've only had it out maybe 3 or 4 times since, but not really hard boosting yet. I'm just trying to make sure everything's gonna work before I get anywhere with it. Alright, this is a turbo I bought when I needed a new one to replace the stock CT Toyota one. This is just cheap. I got it from Max Speeding Rods. It worked fine. It's never given me any issues except for, I'll show you the size difference here. See how small that thing is compared to the size of that. It's not a huge difference, but it's enough to make a little bit of one. You can tell when you're driving it. It killed my gas mileage too, because there wasn't enough airflow going through that thing. Now, the reason I replaced this guy, which I didn't even know about at the time, I just knew the seals were bad. I was smoking oil out of my car like crazy. If you can see that crack? Well, that thing goes like the whole way up around, and that one goes out towards the wastegate. I mean, this thing was getting close to being shrapnel, so I'm really glad I replaced it when I did. But you can see here, this thing was oil and water cooled. Same with that. That's still stock line off the old one. But I mean, all in all, it worked for the year I had it on there. No issues with it. I'm going to give you guys some specifications on this thing. The inlet's 3 inches. The outlet is 2.5, so like 2.5 inches. It's a journal bearing, like I said before. It says it's rated for 500 horsepower. I don't know if that means it's capable of producing 500 horsepower or... yeah, I don't know. The wastegate, internal wastegate's set at 8 psi, just like stock. The compressor, A over R is 0.5, and the turbine, A over R is 0.63. The compressor wheel, it's a 60 trim, The X-Deucer is 84 millimeters, and the Mayer is 66.6. I had said it was a 66 trim, but I think I was reading something wrong. It says 60 trim. The turbine wheel, the X-Deucer is 84 millimeter, and the Mayer is 64.6. I know some of the numbers don't mean much to me, because I'm kind of new to the whole turbo thing. I mean, I know how they work and everything, but I don't know everything about them. I know it's a pretty big wheel, and I would think it would take longer to spool than it does. I think around between 35 and 4,000, it would give you the whole, like, its whole potential. So, I mean, I'll try to be as helpful as I can here. I'd drive it around, do some road tests with it. We'll see what she does. Maybe eventually get the dyno tune it. I don't know. There's not much information out on these things. Not a lot of people have tried them. But I figured I'll try it and YouTube it so people like me that don't know much about it can maybe learn something. I also bought these side mirrors. It's real carbon fiber. I bought them because I went through a car wash and that happened. One of their wheels completely cracked that one. I think the other one's cracked over here, yeah, right there. And they wouldn't replace it or even give me any money towards it, so, because if they were like 20 years old or something. But one thing I don't like about them is they weren't designed exactly the best. When you're going down the road, it will. And they are a pain in the butt to set by yourself. You have to have somebody out here to hold it still or something, because there's a little bolt coming off of this into the inside there. I know this looks bad. I need to actually put a plate there or something, but ignore that for now. It's not done. There's a little Allen key on the end of it you have to put in. There's also a bolt around that thing that you have to tighten up. They tighten up two different things. One's the tilt, and then one's like the rotation of it. Just annoying. But yeah, I also got a decent muffler for it. It's an HKS high power. Something to quiet it down a little bit because it got really loud after I put that turbo on it. Cool. It's like almost unbearable to drive, so. But yeah, getting somewhere here. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and keep subscribed, and if you're new, just please subscribe and I'll keep these things going. Thanks.